Hey everyone, this is Sarah with SewingPartsOnline.com, and today we're going to be going over how to use an overcast foot. I'm going to show you how to nicely and neatly finish your edges, as well as some decorative elements you can add to your projects. Alright, so here's our overcast foot. It's a simple snap-on, as you can see right here. This little bar in the middle is where the needle hops over back and forth to wrap the thread around the edge of the fabric. Down here is a little toe guide. So you guide your raw edge through here, the needle hops over it back and forth, and it comes out a finished edge. So all you need to do is you'll take off the foot you have on, put the overcast foot underneath, clamp it on, and you're good to go. Alright, so first we're going to go over how to just simply finish any kind of edge. What you'll notice on your machine is you have some overcast stitches. For me it's 11, 12, and 13. If you do not have any overcast stitches, you can use a zigzag stitch the exact same way. Just make sure you test your zigzag, like this, to make sure your needle doesn't hit that metal bar, because then pieces would go flying and that would be bad. So we're just going to go ahead and start. I'm following right along this edge. And we've got a nice finished edge. Now for a thicker fabric, I'm going to go to stitch 13 for me, which is just a different overcast stitch that's specifically for thicker fabrics. This is like a pre-quilted fabric. So it does a little bit more reinforcement to make sure that the edges are really finished well. You can see here it's a little bit more, it looks a lot like a serged edge. So this is a great solution if you do not have a serger where you can get the same kind of look and the same kind of finished edge with these great overcast stitches. So with this overcast foot, we can also create some pretty cool lettuce edges with this cool knitted, well, obviously it's knitted, but ribbed knit fabric. So all you need to do is pull on it like this. You already have it on your overcast stitch, so just start sewing. Once again, if you have a zigzag stitch and you don't have any overcast stitches, just use the zigzag. Let's take a look. And a cool lettuce edge. Now with your overcast foot, you can also do kind of like a pseudo rolled edge like you see on your sergers, but if you don't have a serger, you can use a simple zigzag stitch. Make sure it doesn't hit the bar. There we go. And I put in some woolly nylon thread just because I like the way it looks. So here we go, and bring your zigzag stitch to a narrow, or to shorten it so it looks kind of like a satin stitch. And you'll get that really cool rolled hem that you love so much. Now let's take a look. Very pretty, looks like a perfect rolled edge that you would find on your serger, but done just as easily on your sewing machine. Now you can also make pin tucks with this foot pretty easily. All you're going to do is, well, I'll show you. I'm just going to fold the fabric over a little bit, put it underneath the foot, line it up against this guide, and I'm going to line my fabric up against the guide and kind of focus it to be just along that little finger in there, the little bar. And I'm using just some decorative thread because I think it'll kind of look kind of cool. Let's see how it looks. Now I think that looks pretty neat personally, just something different for you to try out on your projects. So another great thing that you can do with the overcast foot for a little decorative element is you can add some fringe, just, small fringe to your project. So I've got, I don't have my raw edge over here anymore. I just have it right here, in the middle of the fabric or wherever. So if, like, say you have a heart right here or a circle and you want to do fringe around it, just follow that. But for demonstration purposes, we're just going to do a line. I have my overcast stitch selected. I went and I take the width and bring it all the way up. Take your length and shorten it to about 1.0 and just start sewing. And once again, I have some woolly nylon thread. It's just, I think it looks so cool. So we're gonna go ahead and stitch and I'll show you how it makes the actual fringe part. Oops. So you bring it out. You see how it looks kind of like a satin stitch. Well, you're just going to take your needle or your embroidery scissors or your seam ripper, whatever you happen to have, and just cut these little threads right there. Try not to cut the fabric. And there you go. You have some cute fringe. So that was the overcast foot. To purchase your overcast foot or any of the decorative threads, visit us online at sewingpartsonline.com or at Facebook at facebook.com/sewingpartsonline.